Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mental Health Awareness Month webinars. We have with us here today Reverend Elizabeth Longo. Thank you, Reverend Longo, for being with us today and offering your time. Reverend Elizabeth Longo is currently the Transitional Minister at the Renaissance Unity in Cleveland, Ohio, and working with other churches around the country. She was a former Unity Reverend for many years as well, here in Miami, Florida. Elizabeth recently returned from India, where she studied at the Oneness University and became a Disha, Transference of Divine Energy giver. She is a certified ministry consultant, mentor in the field licensing program, and a member of the faculty at Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute. Reverend Longo is a motivational speaker, author, and life coach. In her words, through my 35 years of experience, I've mastered the art of awakening to the power of love and have become skilled in supporting individuals and holding them accountable as they realize their dreams. And I have definitely witnessed Elizabeth's work. So I'm very grateful that you're here, Elizabeth, and volunteering this time for us at Miami-Dade College for our students. So with no further ado, I'd like for Elizabeth to start. And in 30 minutes, we will open for the question and answer at the bottom. All the attendees can ask questions after 30 minutes. So that feature will be turned off until then, so that there won't be any interruptions. Okay. All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Whenever you're ready, I'm gonna stop my camera. Here we go.
Thank you so much for having me. Let me change the view so that I can see. Okay. I want to see my camera. 1 second. Let's change the view. The speaker view. So I am delighted to be here with you. Miami-Dade College is very dear to my heart. That's where I studied. And so when I was invited to speak on tranquility, first thing that came into my mind is tranquility. Well, what is tranquility? Where do we find tranquility? And I looked it up. I actually even looked the definition up in Webster Dictionary, and it says tranquility is the quality or state of being quiet and peaceful. So my question to you right now is, would you like to have more peace in your life, more tranquility, more ease? And just take a moment to just say yes or no, be honest. And then I'm going to invite you to take a breath with me. Just acknowledge the breath, a conscious breath, a deep breath all the way to the belly. And as you exhale, let go of the past, let go of what is to come. And I'm going to invite you to just be here with me, fully here for the next few minutes, the next 30 minutes that we're going to be together. And then if I ask you, from 1 to 10, what is the quality of your tranquility? 1 being that you were very much at peace and life is at easy and you're really open. There's coherence between your mind, your body. That's a 1. 10 is if you feel like your life is a tsunami, that you're really stressful. And just put your hand in your heart, take a breath, and the body doesn't lie. Just simply tune in and be truthful. Say the truth. What is your state of tranquility usually or in this moment? And nothing wrong if you get a 10. I know because I have been there. And there are still moments in my life when I acknowledge, wow, I'm here. What do I do with this? That's the key. When we're in the 10, when we feel that our life is out of control, what do we do with it? And we have the power of imagination. We all have this immense power of imagination. And when we are caught up in fear, in worry of what could be, that imagination goes wild, creating all kinds of scenarios. But when we're aware of that, we can bring it back. That's why the breath is so important. Taking a moment just to take a breath and come back, we bring the mind back to this moment. Because that same quality of imagination, we can actually imagine a beautiful day, a meadow, you're under a waterfall, hiking, or the ocean. How does that feel? An art gallery, a museum, a place where there's beauty, quiet. I'll tell you, I have dedicated most of my life, my adult life, in finding peace, tranquility, well-beingness. Because for many, many years, I did not know what that was. As long as I can remember growing up, I was in turmoil. I had a lot of fear, a lot of worries, depression. I was unhappy, even hopeless. And so I'm very grateful that when I went to Miami-Dade College and I went to and signed up for the theater department, there I found something that sparked my joy. And in the theater, I met wonderful people that introduced me to great thinkers. I started reading at 19 Krishnamurti, Alan Watts. I didn't understand a word of what they were saying, but something resonated in me that, wait a minute, there's gotta be a better way to live, because none of us were born with a manual on how to navigate life changes, how to be the best you can. None of us got that. How do we really control our mind or think? I didn't get any of that. If you did, you were lucky. And then I started reading every self-help book I can get my hands on, and studying meditation at that time, and yoga, which wasn't very popular back then. And that's how I began to build my toolkit, because I really believe that we need a toolkit to navigate life's changes, because we're all living very complex times. Life is changing very rapidly. I mean, 2020 was a very difficult year for many people. I know that it transformed me. I had to dig deep because I had a lot of time within myself, and we never stop growing. That is the truth. And we can question our beliefs, our thoughts. We have that capacity so that we can navigate life with ease and grace. One thing is very clear for me, and that is that we can't control everything. How we can't control all the outcomes. We can't control people, places, and things, but we certainly can control the way that we respond to life and what we need in the moment. That's why it's so important to know yourself. There are people that are just addicted to drama, to stress. So, first of all, you must be willing to tell the truth, to observe, to look to see what's going on. Okay, what am I feeling? What's going on? Feelings are just energies that are moving in us, and they usually point to what is the belief, what is the thought that's going on in here. And taking a breath and coming to the heart, just taking a breath and coming here, bringing the attention here, gets us out of that surface mind, what I call the surface mind, where all the monkeys are, that mind in us that doesn't like to be present, that's always comparing, in fear, in worry, going back to what was, or running to the future of what could be. And we come back over and over again with the breath. We're all on a hero's journey. Life is continually changing. There's movement. And we got to learn how to flow with it, how to navigate life's changes. Here in South Florida, we experience hurricanes, right? And there are Many, many winds coming. Those are the winds of change. But in the center of the hurricane, we find peace, stability. And that is the core of our being. We can find that stability, that strength, that place of ease, being grounded in the moment. And then when the monkeys in the head, because that's what they call them in the East, the monkey mind starts going around, we just give it a banana and come back to the breath and say, okay, that's not my truth. I can see this in a different way, but we must be willing. And one of the practices that has helped me much is meditation. And I'm going to go over a few practices that I'm going to give you. And I invite you to just start a simple little habit that you change will have a tremendous consequence in every area of your life. Even if you just start, if you've never meditated, and just start 5 to 15 minutes a day of simply sitting and practicing mindfulness. That means sit, scan your body, notice if there's any tension anywhere, and just breathe into it. Keep the back straight, feet grounded on the floor, and just simply notice your breath. And notice when the mind wanders off, and then you name it a thought, and come back to your breath. And then you might hear a sound, name it, the sound that you heard, a sensation, a feeling, being present to the moment. That's how you begin to notice your inner world. The other technique that I have been using for a long time is journaling, especially when you first wake up. Take a journal and just write without trying to make it right or wrong. It can be a garbage can to all the stress that we have here, just writing it down. And don't even go back to read it. A few weeks later, read it, and you will see how many thoughts are recurrent, because we already have some certain grooves in the brain. We put on the same thinking cap every morning when we wake up. So here we bypass, when you journal 3 pages in the morning, just journal, journal, journal. Get everything out of here into the journal. In the evening, you might want to journal a little bit about everything you're grateful for, because gratitude also is wonderful to shift our attention to feeling sorry for ourselves, to really focus on what we can be grateful for. And that's how we turn on the switch of presence, being in the moment, taking a breath and coming over again, and notice, what am I focusing on? Shift to, what can I be grateful for? What we focus on expands. And if you already have a conclusion about anything, you know what? You are going to find evidence to support your conclusion. That's why it's always wonderful to question our thoughts. Even question, who's the thinker behind that? Where these thoughts come from. You don't have to believe all of them. And that's the power of meditation. We take a breath and we don't have to identify with all our thoughts. We can just be in the quiet, in the ease, and the spaciousness of the moment. Haven't you ever thought that you have a room made up here? Sometimes there's monkeys or many, many personalities here speaking. And just take it back and notice that you don't have to believe every thought that arises in your mind. Watch that internal dialogue. Sometimes we beat ourselves up so much. I could have, I should have, I would have. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. That doesn't feel good. Our energy levels go down. There's a tremendous connection between mind and body and our well-beingness. And self-care is the most important thing, the most important gift that you can give yourself. Just like when you get on an airplane, what do they tell you? You must put your mask on first. And the busier you are, the more time we need for self-care, that there's balance in our lives, harmony, and time to just being in the quiet, listening. A walk in nature is great. Going to the beach, a mindful walk. I am very grateful that I live by a lake, and every day I walk this lake, weather permitting, and I walk the lake in mindfulness, in curiosity, being present to everything around me, whether it's a sunset or a duck with its babies, flowers. We have so much beauty all around us, but when we are caught up in victim consciousness, just feeling sorry for ourselves, we can't see all the wonders and the beauty that's around us. But you're not alone. Most people experience this. So, what we need is that tool set. And when things are not working for you, maybe mindfulness is not working for you in this moment, you try something else, journaling, or reach out to someone that can support you in the moment. Talk to someone, go for a walk, exercise, eat well, drink plenty of water, get plenty of sleep. Self-care is critical to our well-beingness. I also love tapping. It's also called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. And I'm going to invite you to take a moment to just do this with me. I'm going to take off my glasses. And it can be as simple as this. I'm okay. Breathe. I'm okay. All is well. I'm willing to be here. I'm willing to be present. I'm willing to open myself, to be kind to myself, to love myself. All is well here. I'm okay. All is well. Tapping into these energy points gets us out of being so focused on these thoughts we're believing. Taking a moment to just tap here in this part of the eyebrow, then over here under the eye, just tap. And if you're able, just say, I love myself. I love myself. Taking a moment to love yourself, to be kind to yourself, gentle. Regardless of what I may be experiencing, I deeply and fully love myself. I deeply and fully love myself. I deeply and fully love myself. It shifts the energy. You start feeling good for yourself. And then you might even go, I am here. I am powerful. I am fully equipped to meet whatever challenges arise. I am okay. And also going back to telling the truth, to observe. If you have goals you want to meet, and then all of a sudden you're feeling all stressed and everything, then taking a breath, coming back to your center and say, okay, I'm experiencing this, yet nevertheless, I am willing to, and then go forth to do what you said you were going to do. Observe the body. The body does not lie. A centering practice that I absolutely love, because I do highly encourage you to start meditating, even if it's a few minutes a day in the morning to begin your day. It's kind of like we have the ability in the morning to prepare ourselves for the day. And you're going to go, okay, I'm here, and I am fully equipped to meet whatever challenges arise, because you know how to find your center. Remember, the center of the hurricane is the center of your being. Simply taking a pause during the day when everything around you may seem to be changing or not going the way you thought it was going to go. Remember, you can't control the outcomes. You can do your best and let go of of the way things are going to turn out. And then during the day, short moments of simply stopping, taking a pause, breathing. I'm here. I'm here. All is well. You may even put your hand on your heart. They say that the heart has more electromagnetic activities than the head. So just taking a breath here and just being here. I'm okay. Even when you're not feeling okay, I'm okay. Here now, all is well. Because in the moment, all is well. And that well beingness is only a thought away when we just take a moment to come here over and over again. As the poet, 13th century poet Rumi says, stay awake, don't go back to sleep. Come to your center over and over again. If there's stress in the body, take a breath. Short moments of relaxation. Let's do one right now to close. Take a breath with me. Put your hand on your heart. Notice the quietness. Notice the stillness. Notice how the energy is flowing through you. And if the mind wanders off, notice and then gently bring it back to your breath. I'm here. All is well. Notice your body. And notice even who is noticing. When a thought arises, you can ask, who is aware of the thought? Find that place in you that is stable in the midst of change. That in you that is unchanging. And you might get insights to any challenge, but you're taking a break from being in worry, in fear, in the turmoil that the mind creates. And just taking a break of coming back to your center over and over again, breathing. So that is the practice I encourage you to do on a daily basis. Sit, just sit. Nothing to do but sit with your back straight. You may gently close your eyes. Just be getting familiar with the silence. Opening up to a deeper part of your being so you're not so identified with your thinking mind and being an automatic pilot. Few minutes during the day to begin your day and your commitment to find ease and grace, to find tranquility in your life. And then once you have come to that place of ease and grace, then begin to listen to something deeper in you and what brings you joy. Taking time, doesn't matter how busy your day is, but taking time to really savor life. What brings me joy? What am I being called to be? Focus on what brings you joy and your well-beingness. And remember, self-care is self-love. And the other part, tap once in a while. I love myself. I love myself. I'm here. I'm okay. All is well. All is well. I'm grounded in the moment. And as you go through the day, check in every so often. Free your mind from being rushing into worry, fear, or trying to control everything in life, because that will never bring you tranquility. Do your best, let it go, be present, and have your tools set. And if you are experiencing a lot of turmoil, reach out to someone. Tranquility is a breath away. Get familiar with breathing consciously. Take a breath with me as we close. Put your hand in your heart. I'm here. I'm here. All is well. Feel your feet on the ground. You are stronger than you believe yourself to be. Fully equipped. When you turn your attention within and find that place of ease and grace, you will find stability and all that is needed to navigate the complex times we're living in. And then we meet change with an open mind and our willingness to grow and to rise up, because life is change. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel so relaxed now. I don't know if I can get up. Let me see. That was so wonderful, Elizabeth. I mean, I remember going to Unity Church and feeling that peaceful state and coming to that place of myself, which we all need to do. And since the pandemic, we couldn't go to church anymore. And, you know, a lot of things have changed for all of us. And so I think what you've brought for us is, you know, learning how to find that peace and the tapping. I do that tapping, the emotional freedom technique for anxiety. Even my daughter knows about that. And when she sees me super, super anxious and stressed out, especially when I'm driving in Miami, and she'll go, "Mommy, do the tapping." I can't, I'm driving. But it really does bring you back to your body, to the moment, because we can so easily get carried away by those negative emotions. And this is definitely a relaxation, mind and body, self-care techniques that all of us as nurses, as people, as human beings, we all need to learn how to do this, to be kind to ourselves so that we can be kind to others, so that we can be mindful of how we approach people around us in our world, because people are affected by the way we are, because that's, you know, when you're mindful and you're in touch with yourself, you're more sensitive to everything around you. So I want to open to question and answers.
I just want to say something, because you brought up unity, and I want to have I want to clarify a little bit that more than a church, you know, it's a spiritual movement, but that's practical, because I'm all about practical tools. And that's how I learned also, basically, that we all have the power to change our thinking. And that we're very more powerful than we think we are. You know, it's a new thought.
Absolutely.
And thoughts that we hold in mind produce after their kind. We see the world according to our perceptions.
Absolutely.
Cleanse is the windows of perceptions over and over again, and free ourselves from the conditioning of the past to see what's arising in the moment.
To be all inclusive, you know, to have inclusivity, to not be brainwashed into this belief that only this works, only that works, but that to be open to all possibilities. I read this book a long time ago, In the Flow of Life. And I'm sure you're familiar with this book. Oh, yeah. It is about that. It's about living life from within, you know, and sharing that energy with the world, with everyone you come in contact with, and to accept everyone the way they are.
I thought I had it on my desk, but no, I put it away.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
And in that discovery, when we're really beginning to look at ourselves deeply, we're going to see some things that we don't like about ourselves, but we're not that, because we all have unconscious biases. We all have a lot of things that we were told and we believed it blindly. And now we get to
yes,
question our minds.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's true. It's human nature, and so you have to sort of remove that. The journaling, I've been a psych nurse since 1986, so I've always done all the self-help book, just like you, just growing and growing and removing some of the thoughts that I was raised with, because I was raised in a very Catholic environment. I went to Catholic school, and so removing some of those judgmental beliefs that don't apply to everybody. Not everybody fits into that box, and how people, throughout history have been hurt because of that, and how people have been rejected because of those mindsets, and the social uh, hostilities that we're having right now because of the racism and the KKK and the white boys and the Proud Boys and this amount of hatred. And it has raised so much fear in people. Like, I tell my sister, don't blow your horn, because they'll shoot you. My sister has a tendency to blow her horn in the car. I'm like, we're living around a lot of anger and hate right now, and racial issues, and you might get someone at the wrong time, and everybody's carrying a gun these days, and they're going to just shoot you. It's just really difficult times right now.
Yeah. We're living in complex times, but we can't live also in the fear that something's going to happen. We have to continue life. We have
And,
to continue living, be sensible, but we can't live in fear. That doesn't work either. So it's really about self-care, knowing yourself, stay alert, notice your thoughts, change your thinking, taking short moments during the day of stopping, breathing, be here. And really be very kind to yourself. Be kind, because we've all gone through something that we never imagined. We just went through a whole year of lockdown practically. That
yes,
changed us
yes,
and changed the world. We don't even know to what degree we were changed.
absolutely. And I mean, we're still in lockdown. We're still having the entire summer of nursing school in lockdown. Um, and we have a class that just graduated that never really had that experience to go out into the community with patients. And that's very frustrating for them. So trying to get people to connect in this setting was the challenge for this year for me teaching, and trying to get students to be all inclusive and become friends, and turning on their camera because they don't want to turn on their camera. And because and I understand you're getting out of bed, everybody's just rolling out of bed and going into school, so they don't want to always have their camera on. And so I understand those issues, but I also want them to connect and not be isolated, and have inclusivity and understand different cultures. We need to do that as a society, to understand that we have different cultures, but to love each other regardless of those differences. We all are human, and we all need the same thing, all of us, regardless of the color of our skin, what where we were born, what culture we have, what religion we have. We all have the same human needs.
Mhm.
And to humble ourselves in culture, to be humble, because we have to be able to do that as nurses, to understand our patients where they're at. I have patients that might not be able to walk around the block because they live in poverty. Our zip code at Miami-Dade Medical Campus is a zip code of poverty. And hopefully one day we'll be able to maybe open a clinic. We have so many nurse practitioners working as faculty that we can offer those services to that community and offer mind and body classes, offer support groups, that we as nurse practitioners, we can all do that and bring that health equity to our surroundings, because we can only touch the people that are around us. And then that's a start, in our own communities, which there's a lot of poverty in our own community, poverty of spirituality, of many things, of health, of mind wealth, because they don't have the right ways of thinking, the cognitive positive ways of thinking. So there's so much that we can do as a group in our school that I'm hoping that those are some of my goals in the future. We'll see if I live to see that day, to see that happen, that transformation.